Hello, John from Peter Tyson with a change of scenery in our cinema room. Let's say you want to spend less than £1,500 on sound alone for your TV or projector. Should you be tempted by a premium soundbar, or will you get more sound per pound from a budget full home cinema setup? Both options have their pros and cons, but which option is best for you? Hopefully this video will help you find out. All products and current prices in the description below as usual. Let's just crack on. The inspiration for this video came from a customer demonstration that I heard in passing. There was an almighty action scene going on in the cinema room and I expected to see some fairly sizable equipment. I walked around the corner and was greeted with this little 5.1 surround sound setup, Polk Monitor XT30 centre speaker, XT15 compact bookshelf speakers front and rear, and an XT12 subwoofer, all driven by the outrageously good value Denon AVR-X1800 7.2 channel Dolby Atmos receiver. It's been a while since I've heard a pocket friendly cinema, so once the customer had left, I sat down, played some movie clips and started making some notes. Next, I went to hunt around our TV department here at Peter Tyson in Carlisle for similarly priced soundbar options. I wanted a standalone soundbar with no extras, a soundbar with a few add-ons to compare to. First up, single soundbar, no add-ons. I'm using the Sennheiser Ambeo Plus, the neatest solution in this video at only 7.5 centimeters tall. It easily sits below most TV screens without getting in the way. The construction feels premium and solid, and it's packed with features to make movie nights more entertaining. Dolby Atmos, DTS, X and Sony 360 Reality Audio are all supported. Simply connect with HDMI and away you go. Various sound settings can be tailored to your taste in the app, and you have the Ambeo setting. This increases ambience and spaciousness at some cost of vocal accuracy. There is even built-in room correction feature that uses onboard mics to tailor the sound to your room. The bass response is surprisingly weighty for the size of bar. The sound is very wide and gives a relatively convincing impression of height and side channels when sat right in the sweet spot. Pros: it's simple to use from an app and your TV remote controls the volume. Power and HDMI are the only cables you'll need to get going. It's neat and easy to set up. Huge upgrade over TV sound from built-in speakers. Cons: standalone bars cannot recreate surround sound properly, regardless of what their marketing says. When it comes to cinema, there really is no substitute for multiple speakers dotted around the room. All in all, it's still an enjoyable experience that's absolutely light years ahead of any standalone TV sound. So next, a step into separate boxes, but still within the soundbar realm. I chose the immensely popular Sonos Beam Gen 2. It's impressive by itself and hard to beat for its price. Add the Sonos Era 100 surrounds and the Sonos Sub Mini and things step up a gear. Although the sound is perhaps not as wide left and right as the Ambeo, it still hints somewhat effectively at sound above your head. Thanks to the additional Era 100 surround speakers, sound can actually be steered around the back of the room, like no single soundbar is capable of. This, along with deeper, more impactful bass from the Sub Mini, makes the movie that much more engaging. Although not quite as premium looking as the Sennheiser, the Sonos setup is relatively unobtrusive and almost as easy to set up as a single bar. The surrounds and subwoofer connect wirelessly. Pros are similar to the single soundbar. Still pretty painless to set up, although a little bit more involved than the single bar. The sound with multiple speakers around the room is an improvement. Surround sound is just that bit more convincing and there's that bit more realism. As for the cons, although the surround speakers and sub benefit from wireless connection, they still require mains power, so they will have to be placed somewhere near a power socket. Some people, me included at home, just can't place surround speakers correctly because the room shape or the TV or the seating positions just don't allow it. Last up, the budget home cinema setup that inspired this whole video. One of the first impressions after listening to a soundbar is the dialogue. The Polk centre has much larger drivers than the soundbars, so speech is just that bit more intelligible. Using separate speakers around the room makes the surround sound more accurate and immersive. The 12-inch subwoofer is just that much more effortless than the smaller wireless affairs that get partnered with soundbars. Plenty of spatial audio formats are supported on the Denon AVR-X1800, and lots of connectivity too for external devices should you want to grow your system. The AVR essentially becomes your whole home cinema hub, dealing with connections, sound processing and control. The onboard Odyssey room calibration and including microphone makes a big difference. Even with this relatively inexpensive cinema sound system, you're dipping your toe into what movies really should sound like. The system can be expanded and upgraded in parts. A new, more powerful AVR, an additional set of back speakers, larger floor standing front speakers, a second subwoofer, or even matching up-firing height channels that bounce sound from your ceiling. You can just keep improving your system over time, and the sound is by far the biggest advantage. It's pretty awesome for the money, with a condition. That leads us to the cons. Obviously, if you're not wanting extra boxes around the room, additional cabling to hide, and fairly lengthy setup process, then this system may not be the best for you. Also, I can't stress this enough, budget or high-end, a multi-channel cinema system is only as good as its setup. Factor this in when you're considering a purchase. If you're not confident, it may be worth paying a little extra to get everything installed and set up correctly. Is the calibration performed right? Are the speaker rolls and crossover frequencies optimised? Is the subwoofer in a good position for the room, or just shoved in the corner and cranked up to 11? Even basics like good speaker placement make a huge difference to the performance of your system. A bit of advice from my personal experience: when you're choosing your speakers, use a matching centre speaker if you can, from the same manufacturer as your other speakers, particularly your front, left and right speakers. As sound effects pass around the room, a speaker that has different drive units and design as the others, with a different sound signature, can draw attention to itself and take away from the realism. At the end of the day, whatever works best for you is key. You have to live with your system every day. As good as soundbars have gotten now, at the moment I don't think there is a substitute for actual speakers in a proper home cinema setup. Even budget offerings like the Denon and Polk can sound stunning if the setup process is given the proper respect. If you can accommodate the additional speakers and cabling, you'll be rewarded to a very engaging system that will likely last longer and only get upgraded over time as your taste for the hobby increases. That's why places like Peter Tyson exist, actual stores with demo rooms so you can try stuff out and decide what will work best for you. So that's it. I'll leave links in the description to the soundbars and some Polk speaker packages that I think may be worth a look. If you've watched this far, I hope that your movie sound decision just got a bit more simple. If you think I missed any pros or cons out, tell me down in the comments and help each other out. You'll see me in the next video. Take care.